if I could give anybody good advice, it would be don't get old. And of course that's so realistic because it's so easy to prevent yourself from getting old. Anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is that I'm still sore from yesterday. In fact, today I'm more sore than I was yesterday. And that partly comes from being out of shape from my foray up the mountain in my motorcycle yesterday, on my motorcycle. And it's partly from wiping out. You know, everything's sore. I'm just one big sore. Not an open wound, but you know, even my hair is sore. Even my eyelashes are sore. I'm glad I cut my hair recently. Otherwise, you know, if I had longer hair, I'd be in more pain. Anyway, am I whining? Yeah, I guess so, eh? Okay, so here we have, as you can see, I've made a mess of charcoal lines everywhere, and we're going to organize them a little bit. You know, I kind of jumped onto this painting and thought, okay, you know, you get a little charcoal, you get a little charcoal, you get a little charcoal, you get a little charcoal. And then I realized I'm not Oprah, so I decided to, well, as always, I always end up with a charcoal mess on my canvases before I go in with a knife. To begin with, I wasn't going to put too much design and charcoal on here, but once I started, I just kept going and going and going. And now, I need to organize the thing. So, that's what we'll do. Some of these lines I will accentuate, I will definitely use in the painting. Some of these lines I'll vary slightly. Some of these lines I will completely negate. Excuse me. But it's all, you know, they're all a guide. They're all a guide for what I do next. And every time I revisit the thing, every time I go over my lines, I try to make them a little better and a little better and a little better until eventually I end up with a composition that I'm at least reasonably happy with. And I know that so far it looks like quite a mess, and that's okay. Things always start out as a mess. Let's see here. Okay, don't put too many lines in just yet, Phil. Don't do that. Like I really, you know, things were bothering me quite a bit in here, so of course I drew some lines on and wiped them off, and drew some lines on and wiped them off, and ended up with just a smudgy area. And now, finally, I think I know what I want there. So, we lay a few things in and just see how it works out. I have these on the other photograph that I have these two thin trees sitting here, and I put them in and they just bothered me a little bit, so I decided to get rid of them. Also, the tree trunk that I'm tracing on right now is overlaying, I found ended up being a little too thick. Because as I mentioned, I don't want a goalpost and a goalpost. I don't want this to be the thickest one here, and this to be too obviously the thickest one here. I'm going to need to intercept, or I'm going to need to interrupt the flow of each of these lines in various spots. I don't have to decide where yet. I just know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And I like this little branch shooting off to the edge. I like this little guy coming in here too. I don't know if it's going to stay permanently, but for the moment, yeah, it's good. I like it. So this trunk won't have any foliage in front of it from right here to down here. This one already has a little bit, so we might just leave that there. I'm going to cut across these trunks with a little more foliage than I'm showing at the moment. And let's see. I like a little bit of the evergreen look to these limbs, so I think let's try to keep that in there. You know, if everything is too rounded, if these clumps of foliage are all too rounded, it loses it loses the effect of the shape of the limbs of an evergreen. Evergreen have these more stabby branches that come out, you know, feathered at the ends with all the needles. So it'll be somewhere in between the two. I'm not worried too much about identifying each tree, but the general feel of each tree is kind of what I'd like to maintain. And it's really more, as I mentioned, there's going to be more about the character of the painting itself. That's what turned me on when I revisited it, when I saw the photograph, and that's what I'm going to try to maintain as I paint it. Anyway, I have lines everywhere in here now, as you can see. And it's going to be up to me to pick what stays, what goes. There's my shed. So far, these distant hills have been pushed back. This rocky shoreline has been pulled forward. Put a little shed of some sort there. That's very close to the shape it'll be. I want to keep it simple. We don't want details on there. But I thought I'd just show you a quick one today. I haven't done much, you know. But then, as I mentioned, this is in the spirit of not getting much done. Taking some time to be lazy. Okay, anyway, you get what I'm saying. The next time we meet, I'll do some more playing on it. I may have everything in, you know, all the lines in. I might not. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, that's it for now. We will talk to you soon.